Oh, snap. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Patrick. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. It helps spread the word about the live streams and the channel. Get some more people in here. You know, grow the family. I appreciate it. TikTok, we're live on TikTok as well. Good to see you guys. Keep tapping the screen. Hit the follow button. Thank you for the coin things. Everyone knows it's windy. Very sweet. Mica Miller, more's coming out. JP did the interview with Flo. We got a little bit of that, some discussion on that, and just a whole bunch of stuff, y'all. I keep saying this case is just a Rubik's cube. It's like a Rubik's cube, but every cube of the Rubik's cube is also a Rubik's cube. So you have to solve one to get one color, to then solve one to get one. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So let me shrink myself down and let's just jump straight into this. Make sure you guys go show love to all of the creators. Any of the videos that we watch, everybody is down in the description. The link to the video and their channel is tagged and everything. So go show them all a whole bunch of love. First up is Crimes and Theories. She's awesome. We watch her videos quite often. So let's jump in. You guys ready? Thumbs up in the chat. Let's do this.
The interview between John Paul Miller and their creator Flo on TikTok that I was talking about previously in my video has dropped. And this account on TikTok has done the Lord's work because they have posted some clips for us to listen to, just as we expected, more lies. But let's tune into some things that were said.
General, were there ever threats made between, like, in your rocky relationships or whatever was going on? Were there any threats between either from you to Mica to you, either that was behind closed doors, or is there anything like in police report or anything like that ever went on?
What do you mean, like a threat?
No, well, okay, like a serious threat. Like when you get into it with your spouse, sometimes you might say something, or she might say something, or you might say something. You might say, "I'm gonna do this to you," or "I'm gonna do that to you," or any of that. And it could be normal where it didn't mean nothing. I'm just saying, was it that? Did it get to that level? That's what I'm saying. Like the arguments.
I mean, there's a video of me. I met her at Honda. Well, I was at Honda first, and I was taking her mail to somebody who was going to bring it to her. When I saw her, I just went and gave her a mail. She was saying,
you were at the Honda dealership first, bringing her mail to someone who was going to give her mail, and she just happened to show up at the Honda dealership?
You what?
What? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
What?
Let's keep going. Is that what he meant? Is that what he said? Because if so, that's really weird.
something that she's going to do. I forget what it was. It was something done. She wasn't in her right mind. But when I said back to her, I said, I'm going to put the pictures of you and somebody else up on Facebook. Somebody thought that was me saying something. But no, I would never do that. But I did threaten in that moment. I think I did threaten. I said, well, if you do that to me, I'm going to show the pictures of you and, this boy. Something, and then I walked away. Of course, never did it. I said that, so she did something.
Why can't I hear anything that he's saying hardly? And did you see how he threw in you and this boy, even though that boy was what, like 19 or 20? A legal adult? Why'd you say it like that?
She shouldn't have done on March 11th, something she would never in a zillion years do, ever, when she's on medication.
Mm-hmm.
She did something that she only does when she's off medication. And that's how I knew that she was mentally ill and needs help, was on that day, which was March 11th. And there were some pictures taken of her and somebody else doing something inappropriate. And so when I was taking her mail and she said something, I forget what she said, it doesn't matter, but I said, well, if you do that, I'm going to put pictures of you and that boy up on Facebook.
The rumor was that you did post naked pictures and took it down. So I'm trying to clear that now, because That's like really what people think. You know, people really think that's what's really out there.
Yeah.
So it's not that. So you never. It wasn't naked pictures, and you never posted whatever you said you were gonna post. Right? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think there's I can. I don't think there's a naked picture of her out there anywhere.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, they said that you posted it, took it right back down. That was the rumor. Not that it's out there.
Oh no, that's in the apology letter. So
Okay.
the last time I saw her, when I finally got to the end of our 4 hours, I said, "What would it take for me to get you back on medication before something bad happens?" She said, "Okay, here's what you got to do." She said, "If you'll write an apology to me for the following things," and she listed a whole bunch of crazy stuff. She said, "If you tell me you're sorry for that stuff and make it really good and give me $10,000, I'll take my medicine." And I said, "Okay, I don't have $10,000. She said, "Well, I want to move to Africa." I said, "Well, how about this? How about I give you $1,000 in an apology?" She said, "Okay." And she said, "But it has to be handwritten." I thought that was weird. And then she handed me an apology that she wrote out of her diary, her actual diary, not the one that people are making up, but like her real diary, which is all about our vacations and poems and stuff like that.
Okay.
She wrote this apology to me, hand wrote it, I have a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
She tore it out of her diary, and half of it's unusual, the other half is normal. It's just, you can tell she's not mentally right. But anyway, and I said, "You'll do that?" I said, "You run your medicine?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'll have you a check for tomorrow," and I said, I'll go ahead and write you an apology. She said, "Okay." So she left, so I emailed her an apology that said, "I'm so sorry for everything, da-da-da." And she said, "That is not what I said to write. I said the right one with all the details. You know, apologize for doing this and doing this." I said, "But Mike, I didn't do those things." She said, "Yes, you did." And so then I texted Reverend Randall and I said, "Hey."
Oh my God. Is he trying to say that she said, "Oh, no, 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 no. I want you to admit to things that you didn't actually do so that I have it in writing and then I'll take my medicine." Really? Oh my God. Are you serious? There's no chance, JP. There's no chance that it's true and that you did those things. That's completely off the table. They're like, "No way. Oh my God. Never, ever, 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 ever." What actually happened is she just made up all this stuff and made me sign this thing. How on earth does that make any sense whatsoever? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm not these people. I'm just saying that is weird. That is weird as hell. YouTube, by the way, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. If you're new here, if you're watching, if you're hanging out, if you're enjoying the show, do me a favor, just hit the little thumbs up button for me. Let's get 100 likes on YouTube. TikTok, hit the follow button, tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 25,000 likes. Thanks for the little coin things. I appreciate it, y'all. And hit the follow button. Hit the follow button if you're new here. Come over to the YouTube channel, The Mystery Project, and you can watch the video along with us. Let's go.
I said, "I think I have my win. I think I finally got it. If I give her $1,000 and I write an apology for a bunch of stuff that I didn't do that she has in her head, I said, she'll get back in her medicine and then she'll understand I didn't do it. She'll be okay. What do you think?" And he said, and I have all this, you know, of course, my affidavit and the email and everything. He said, "No." He said, "You don't apologize for something you didn't do. That's not wise. And, you know, you shouldn't do it, blah, blah, blah." So I said, "Okay." Well, I did it anyway. And so I sent that apology letter that everybody's reading. And, you know, it'd be easy for me. If I wanted to lie, I would just say I never wrote it.
Right.
My name's not on it. There's no signature. It was typed out. All I got to do is lie and say, that's bogus. Somebody made that up. You know,
Right.
no proof.
So now he's saying everything in this apology email never happened, that these were what Mica demanded. Everything was made up. But what's so funny about it is that so many people have vouched that JP did post that topless picture of Mica. He has came out and said it was wrong of him to do so many times. So why is he backtracking now? Why is he saying it was made up now? And also, there is police reports and police calls of Mica reporting her slashed tires. He's back.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
I can't with this. That's crazy.
Tracking so hard, and I will tell you this, an innocent person does not do that.
Right.
You're right. And I wrote it exactly. Look, I wrote it how I thought she wanted. Well, then she tells me, and she tells me through Africa. She texts Pastor Jumba in Africa. I paid for that was my last hurrah. Was I paid for him to come to America and try to get her back on her medicine because she really respected him, and they spent 4 days together. And he was so close to doing it. But anyway, she messages him and says, John Paul wrote me an apology letter, but it's supposed to be written by hand. And he called me up. He says, "Brother, you got to do it by hand." And I thought, that sounds weird. You know what? I don't think I'm going to do that. I feel like somebody's setting me up. And it was.
Okay, I have a problem with that part. So allegedly, he just said that he flew that guy to the States just to talk to her. Okay. But isn't that the same guy that's allegedly says that he never got any of the money for like the mission trip that they were trying to raise money for? So if that pastor had never got any of that money that he was promised, why on earth would he then have money to fly him out to the States just to talk with Mica for a few days? Huh? Am I missing something? Does any of that make sense? I don't know. Let's keep going. YouTube, 49 likes away from 100. Let's get it.
A few days later, I got the separation papers, and I got the apology letters in there saying I'm sorry for, I don't know, slashing tires, or sorry for, I don't know what it said, whatever she's thinking happened or I did. And so that's why people thought there was a negative picture, which there isn't.
Gotcha. It was an apology letter.
The threat was me exposing her and her inappropriate behavior.
So he keeps saying he had pictures of Mica with the boy, and it was inappropriate, so he threatened her to get back on her medication so he wouldn't post those pictures. The one thing that really bothers me about this clip and in most of the interviews is that these people do not apply the pressure. They just let him spew these lies, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, and then like, next question. It's really hard to watch, especially when you know so much about this case and everything just does not add up. But there's obviously a lot more to this interview. I wanted just to focus on this clip today because he tells a lot. He tells a lot of BS in it, and it's a lot. So I'm going to make a part 2.
And don't worry, I already have it.
All right, guys, welcome to part 2, the interview with John Paul Miller and TikTok creator Flo. Let's start with this clip of the interview. I'm just going to read off the caption that summarizes the clip because we all know how John Paul Miller talks about Mica's mental health, and there's a few more videos I want to share that I do want to talk a little bit deeper about. So in the interview, John Paul Miller says he didn't want people to judge Mica, so he kept her mental health issues a secret. Mica begged him to tell people about her mental illness, and no one knew until 2022, 2023. Then he goes on a rant about how great Susie is. Now, this person did their input and said, I also find it interesting that he said Susie was one of the first people they told about her mental illness. If Mica's mental health was so bad, like John Paul Miller is saying, why would he want to keep that a secret?
You wouldn't.
And
if you would, why the hell would you?
like the people that are married to someone with mental illness, it was magnitude, and they said, you're going to have to take care of her every day for the rest of her life. She may never be the same. I got an email that I wrote Mica when she was in the hospital the second time, and it said to me, I said, baby, I said, they told me that there may only be a few days each year that you are who I married, and that you might have to be in a mental suit the rest of your life, and I visit you once a week, and I said, I'm just scared to death and don't know what to do, and all this went on.
So you're the victim here? Oh my God. They said that this happened and that I was only going to get the person I married just a couple of days a year. What? How many days a year did she get the man she married without any of this? How many days a year did she, or did she ever get to see the real person that she married? That's a better question. Man, that's a crazy thing to say.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Let's keep going.
Well, one of the things that happens with Mica's disease is that she loses, I don't know if the word is empathy, or she loses understanding of what happens around her when she's in that state. Like, in other words, she doesn't understand the pain it causes me or whoever else when she chooses to stop taking.
Oh no, did she cause you some kind of pain?
Medicine and thinks that she's gonna. One time she was convinced that she could run through the neighborhood without a shirt on, which of course I stopped her, but I'm just saying that, you know, she doesn't understand the ramifications of those things. I showed her an email that she did. She didn't believe that. I showed her. So one time she thought that I was a double agent. We were watching TV, and she started asking questions. I thought, oh no, baby, have you been taking your meds? And then she pushed me. And so I ran in the bedroom, and I locked the door, and thought, okay, dear God, I'm trying to text a friend of mine who's a police officer and saying, what do I do? You know, I just need help. I don't want to get in trouble and all this. And so she thinks that I stole her pocketbook or her makeup or something, and she's kicking the door, and she kicks the hole in the door. And then I don't know what happened that night. I think I left and came back, and she got back in her meds or whatever. But days later, I was looking, I was watching her, and she put a picture on her phone. And I thought, what are you looking at? I'm looking at that hole that you kicked in our door. I'm telling my family that you kicked the hole. I said, I didn't kick the hole in the door. She said, yes, you did. I just took a picture of it. The hole's still there. I just sent it to my family. I told them, I said, baby, I promise you, I didn't kick the hole in the door. She's like, no, Paul, who else would do it? And I said, Mica, you did that. I said, I have a video of you doing it. And I remember showing her the video, and she was so upset with herself. Like, she was crying her eyes out. She was so apologetic. She was, she could not believe she did that to our house. I can't do this to our house. I did this to you. And, you know, I was like, it's okay. The first two times Mica went in the mental institute, I was.
What the hell is going on? All I hear is, oh, she did all this to me. Me. Oh my God, how could she do this to me? What? This is bizarre. I mean, what the hell is going on right now? TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. Come over to YouTube if you want to watch the video with us. The Mystery Project, that's the name of the channel on YouTube. And YouTube, everybody watching, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get 100 likes. Come on. We're not there yet.
Beside myself, did not know what to do.
Do you guys notice when he talks, his voice gets all low and squeaky, almost like a clown? Like he gets super, super anxious or something? That is called a liar voice, my friends. 100% liar voice. He says that her mental health was so bad, she would hallucinate and think people were different people. But he chose to keep it a secret for how many years? Yeah, nobody's buying that, John Paul.
You a little hasty? Were you a little because of what happened, or just can you just clear that image up?
Yeah.
Because go ahead.
Whose house?
You said what?
Whose house? I don't know.
I guess it was a Mica's it was an apartment. Either it was where Mica was staying, and it was said that you went to the apartment and you had to leave some people or somebody that you were telling them to let you in because you needed something out of the apartment.
Oh yeah. It was, I don't remember how many days it was after she passed, but
yeah, I don't remember when it was. That I'm just talking about that story.
Yeah, no, of course I asked for her stuff. She's my wife.
No, okay, well, of course you asked for her stuff. So that's the answer. You went over there to get her stuff. You didn't go over there to get anything specifically, or one. That's I guess that's what we want to clear up. it's not as far as social media. It's not. They're not saying that you went over there to get her stuff. They're thinking you went over there to get something specifically, and you were going crazy about it.
Well, I mean, I might have mentioned a few things like she made a sweatshirt in January that said Miller 2017. She was so proud of it. She sent me a picture of it. She was at the house when she took a picture. I was out eating lunch or something. So I wanted that sweatshirt. I wanted let's see, she had 2 diaries. One was poems to me, and the other one was all of our vacations that she wrote about. I wanted
diaries.
Oh, she just bought us a Bible in January of this year. She got a Bible that said Mica and JC on the front of it, and she was so excited for that. So I was going to get that. Let me think. Oh, there's a necklace she has. The necklace she has. It has like a little teeny bubble, and if you look inside of it, there's a naked picture of me. And so I wanted to make sure I got that.
Okay.
He just said
What the hell was that?
he wanted to grab a necklace that had a naked picture of him inside of it. Okay, so he had no legit reason to go inside Mica's apartment. They were separated. None of her stuff belonged to him. The diaries that he said were made up were not made up. Mica's sister is in possession of them, and I do believe what was said in those diaries is actually the blueprint of Mica's law. Everything she endured while being in a relationship with John Paul, and he didn't want anyone to know that. I do think better questions are being asked in Flo's interview, so rest assured there's a lot more information. I'm going to post a part 3 that will be posted today.
And here it is. Y'all make sure that you go subscribe to Crimes and Theories on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. 25 likes away from 100. But her channel is pinned down in the description. So make sure you go show her some love. Here's part 3. TikTok, hit the follow button and let's get those coins. Come on. TikTok doesn't share the live stream out unless we play their little TikTok games. Let's keep going.
Hey guys, welcome to part 3. If you haven't watched the other 2 parts, check out the videos below this one. We are talking about the Mica Miller case and John Paul's latest interview with the creator Flo. Let's start with this first clip. I brought up his squeaky voice in the last video, his liar squeaky clown voice.
Thank you,
He
Wendy.
does it again when talking about Mica taking testosterone.
Something
What?
they said you made her take testosterone. Go ahead.
Why would I make my wife take testosterone? I have a picture of my if you want to see my the testosterone prescription. I have a picture of prescription of the date and everything if you want to see it. But what I do is when I want her to do that.
Right.
I think Flo let him off too easy with that one. He just kind of agrees with him, which is kind of annoying to me. But anyways.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta grill this dude. If he's willing to get on there and do that, you gotta grill him. You can't just agree with him. You gotta dig in it. Why would you do that? We want to know why you would do that because that's what has been said is that you did. So answer your own question. Why would I do that right now? Exactly. That's why I asked. Why would you? Well, I would. Let's assume that you did. What would be a reason that you would do that? And let him talk. Give some space. Ooh. Let's keep going before I get heated over here. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Come on. 18 left.
The fumbling of his voice, the squeaky clown sound coming from his voice box. I don't know what the heck you'd call that. So guilty, you guys. But okay, listen to this next clip because he asked John Paul Miller who he was with and if there's any evidence of it the day Mica passed. We know that all that was produced was this picture of John Paul Miller's truck driving down a highway. So Flo asked him if there's any other footage or proof that you can give us so that way we can verify where you were at. This is what he says.
Another question that's been asked a lot. Okay, now they do have a picture of your truck to show that you were I guess supposed to be in Charleston or wherever. Correct me if I'm wrong or whatever the exact location is.
Another topic that was heavy on my page was JP Miller. Where were you? Who were you with? Do you have footage of where you were when Mica Miller unalived herself?
Have you either thought of, or are you ever gonna produce? Do you have any footage that you would, or anything else besides? I guess to make it simple, do you have anything else besides a picture of a truck showing that who, or were you with somebody that can confirm what you were doing, or anything like that? Anything past a picture of a truck moving, saying you were there?
100%. Sorry about it, but I was with about 100 people.
Okay.
From my kids' school.
Okay.
All of us together. We all ate dinner together. We all were at the games together that day. And
so that didn't answer any questions. He said, "Is there pictures or video?" And you said, "I was with 100 people." Awesome. Did those 100 people take a picture? Did those 100 people take a video? The chances of being at something like that and 100 people not taking a picture or video are pretty low, right? Probably somebody was taking pictures and video. Statistically speaking, the majority of them probably were. So that's the question he asked. Not how many people. Oh, by the way, how many people would you say you were with? About 100 people. Oh, okay. No, he said, where's the pictures and videos? That's the question. Does he end up answering it? Let's find out.
I have receipts from the stores that I went to in Charleston that day.
Okay, so you have receipts that show that you bought something there, or that your card bought something there. But is there a picture or video? Oh, there'd be surveillance footage of him buying something there. So there's a lead right there.
Okay.
And the person that was with me the entire time, 100% of the time, even in my truck the whole time, is someone that I can neither confirm nor deny due to court papers.
So what? Huh? The person I was with, I can neither confirm nor deny. This is weird.
Ask me to keep them out of it.
Ask me to keep. Well, it's too late for that. It's too late for that. And keep in mind, y'all, he has not been charged with anything. He's not guilty of anything right now that we know of at all. But that's weird. And people even, I mean, maybe he is there. Like maybe like, oh, actually, I mean, I guess right now that's what we're told. So he was there. He was not anywhere near where Mica was. He was here with the person he can't name, with 100 people that didn't take pictures and videos, I guess allegedly or whatever. This is crazy as hell, though. I'm just thinking, like, if somebody was like, "Hey, man, were you at this thing?" Instead of doing this other thing that's really bad, I'd be like, and I had a picture or video, I'd be like, "Of course, dude. Look here. That'd be the first thing I show." Weird. And that other person was with you 100% of the time, in the bathroom with you, like 100% of the time. Okay, all right. Dude, I mean, we gotta take his word on it, right? What do y'all think? Man, let's keep going. 5 likes away. YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. TikTok, hit the follow button. Tap the screen like crazy. Mystery Project on YouTube if you want to come watch the video with us.
Okay. So
okay. No, Flo, you gotta dig in on those questions. Don't just say okay. Don't agree with them. Push back, dude. Come on, Flo.
Okay, good.
You said okay like 6 times.
And there's the pictures as well. And I want to always keep those people safe because I love them very, very much.
So there are pictures, but you're not gonna show anybody because you want to keep those people safe. Oh my God.
Okay, yeah, fair.
I love those people more than anyone else on.
He said, okay, that's fair.
So apparently he has proof of him being at a soccer game the day Mica passed. In fact, 100 people saw him, but still not a picture of him being there has surfaced. He has receipts of going to stores that day, but he's never posted one of those. even though he's made tons of videos trying to rebuttal what he thinks are rumors online, but he has never showed a receipt. He also won't disclose who he was with or who was riding in his truck that day. Why won't he disclose that information? He was no longer with Mica. There has already been multiple pictures and sightings of him out with other women, specifically Susie Skinner. So why is he holding back this information? Do you think he's really trying to protect these people that he loves more than anyone on this earth?
If that's, I mean, come on. If that's true, I mean, you said that you were trying to protect Mica by doing what you did. So, I mean, clearly, if that's all true, you don't have the best judgment when it comes to protecting people, is what it seems like. Oh, I'm getting frustrated. Oh, God, I can't believe. Flo, you gotta dig in on those, man.
Or do you think because disclosing who he was with that day makes him that much more suspicious and guilty? Let's also not forget the fact that a truck similar to his was seen numerous times on video surveillance following Mica around the day she passed. Now, a lot of people think this wasn't the same truck, but just the sole fact that he goes and changes the look of his truck after Mica's passing is just so suspicious. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I mean, I pretty much already know what you guys think because you're right there with me, but it's just funny how he has so much to say about Mica, but yet won't release a shred of proof of his whereabouts that day. Very interesting.
Damn, let's keep it going, y'all. We got plenty more. YouTube, you already know. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Tap the hit the thumbs up button, and TikTok do the same thing. Hit the follow button, tap the screen like crazy.
I don't have a pool to fall in, but like the least he can do if he's like this, right? If he's just laying there, all you got to do is this. That's it. And he'd be healed. And he couldn't even do that. Remind me not to do that next service. I'm getting too old. And now
just for context, this is John Paul Miller. This is earlier this year, January 2024. He is quoting some scriptures from the Bible of a lame man, a disabled man by the pool, wanting healing. He is seeming to mock, in my opinion, the situation. Is
they talking about Susie's husband? The one that was by the pool? That the guy that was a quadriplegic? What?
Is after he got caught with Susie Skinner, Chris's wife, which is a paralyzed disabled man that used to always go to the pool. This is after Chris confronted John Paul Miller to leave his wife alone so him and his wife can have their marriage. And this is also after Chris ended up drowned in the pool that he.
Oh my God. Can you imagine having to go to your pastor and be like, hey, dude, leave my wife alone? Oh my God.
How dare you?
He used to go to every morning. So what do you guys think of this?
it says there was a sick man lying by the pool who had a deep-rooted and that word is lingering, not lingerie. That's a totally different disorder, okay? It says lingering infirmity, just so you know. Lingering infirmity.
Oh, wow. Real funny. Jesus.
Disorder for 38 years. Now, it says that it was an infirmity. We assume it was his legs because he was lame, and he was. But the same word infirmity is the same exact word Paul uses in the New Testament when he talks about weakness and how we should appreciate a weakness because it means that we can see Jesus being strong in our life. So I wonder how many people in this room. Now, this guy is sitting there on the side of the pool, and he's waiting for an angel, and he's about to see the captain of the angel armies stand before him. Surely when he sees God standing there before him, surely he says, oh, I want to be healed. Heal me right now. Yes, of course I do. That's why I'm here. I believe. Heal me. Is that what he said? Okay, no. Sir, I don't have anyone to put me in the pool when the water is stirred. There's an explanation. Watch it turn into an excuse. I try to get in, but someone else always gets there first. It's not my fault. It's their fault. If they would help me, if they would be good to me, if they liked me, if they would do for me what I would have done for them, then I wouldn't be in this position. It's not my fault.
Is this a lesson about accountability from J.P. Miller?
Emotional damage.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
Fault, Jesus. It's the government's fault. It's the fault of the way I was raised. It's the fault of my past. I've done so many bad things. That's why I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Are any of those excuses good enough? I mean, I can't. I figured the guy, I mean, I don't have a pool to fall in, but like the least he can do if he's like this, right? If he's just laying there, all you got to do is this. That's it. And he'd be healed. And he couldn't even do that. Remind me not to do that next service. I'm getting too old. And now I got vertigo. Okay, anyway, so verse 8, Jesus said,
Oh my God. A lesson in accountability from J.P. Miller. It's like taking driving lessons from a 2-year-old. Allegedly. I don't know. I'm not these people. I have no idea. I'm just sitting here watching videos and talking about them.
What the fuck?
All right, let's keep going. We got more. We got more, if you believe it. Oh, God.
I didn't know that this was going to be like a recorded thing, but I assume it's being recorded.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, if I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to pretend like I have to get off the phone for a moment.
There you
You gonna pretend like you got to get off the phone?
go.
Maybe it'll be like a fake.
There ever threats made between, like, in your rocky relationships or whatever was going on?
What do you mean, like a threat?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Tough Topic. My name is Brittany. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. So for those of you who have been following the Mica Miller case, or if you've just been following me, then you already know that there is so much more to this story. So someone who did play a big role in Mica's death is her pastor husband, John Paul Miller. Although John Paul denies any involvement, he's been pretty open about the struggles Mica faced mentally, including her being bipolar. But months after different media outlets trying to get an interview with him, he agrees to do an over-the-phone interview with a creator from TikTok named Flo.
Over the phone? It sounded like they did the interview with those damn tin cans with the wire attached to them. You used to put one in the treehouse and one on the floor, and you would like try to talk to your brother up there. Hey, what are you doing? And you couldn't even hear anything through there. You just heard him talking from up there. That's what it sounded like.
Considering this interview is behind a paywall, I will not share it here because for obvious reasons, from a creator to another, you just don't do that. That's like taking money out of his pocket, and also it's just morally wrong. However, I will share what my takeaways are from the interview, and we can discuss from there. Now, why JP decided to be interviewed by a TikTok blogger instead of a large media outlet like News Nation or Law and Crime, to me is pretty simple. He wants the opportunity to control the narrative and not be called out on his lies. So right off bat, I will say that JP owned up to absolutely nothing and took no accountability for the parts that he played. So I'm going to start with...
I mean, I've watched a couple of Flo's videos, but like, has he done interviews in the past? Does anybody know? Does anybody watch his channel regularly? I mean, I've seen a few of his videos, but was that his first interview? Probably first interview of that magnitude, I would imagine, right? And if that's the case, then absolutely, JP just fed off of his inexperience. He was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this guy and I can just say whatever I want. He's not gonna press me on it.
The relevant questions, which is the released nude photo that he posted to Facebook.
In it, he's apologizing for a series of things, and one of them is a photo that was produced on the internet. It was topless of her. We're not going to show that here, of course, but in the apology, he says, "I'm sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was for less than 1 hour and immediately taken down. I was hurt that you were telling everyone horrible, intimate details of my past sin, and I just wanted to try and hurt you. Please forgive me. It was evil of me to do that.
Although we do have the footage of him threatening for the photo to be posted online, and Mica is in the background saying, okay, you'll go to jail, he denies it ever happened, even claiming that the email that he sent apologizing to News Nation correspondent, it was forced by Mica because she told him that if he did it, she would actually take her medication. Now, that doesn't even make sense to me at all. But JP also...
It doesn't make sense to me either. Does it make sense to any of y'all? Does that make sense? Or does it not? Thumbs up in the chat if it makes no sense to you. Just give me a little thumbs up in the chat right now if you're just like sitting here going,
also says that he has not shared the 350 pieces of proof or evidence yet because of the ongoing case, but his attorneys have it. So you remember he went on one of the platforms, True Crime Re, and stated that he has so much proof and evidence that he is not responsible and he will expose who is responsible for her death. He has not done that yet. So yet again, something else that was just an example of JP blowing smoke up our butts. He says that Mica has always tried to take her own life and says that some days at random she would tell him that it was her time to die. He also states that that wasn't the first time that...
And you didn't want to get help for that? You wanted to keep it a secret to not embarrass her? Allegedly, that's what you said. That's pretty crazy.
Mica purchased a firearm from the pawn shop. And speaking of pawn shop,
thank you, Karen.
He did say that he's not seen the footage at its entirety of the pawn shop, like in depth. I wonder why. But JP also claims that Mica tried to drug him with CBD and Susie. You know, we all know Susie.
CBD?
Bruh.
She tried to relax me. She tried to make all my troubles go away. She tried to give me health benefits from an oil derived from hemp plants.
How dare you?
What the hell are you talking about? Isn't that like taking vitamin C tablets? Can you imagine? She put emergency in my drinks and made it a delicious orange flavor that boosted my vitamin C by 1,000% that day.
It's a connection.
She put a liquid IV inside of my water bottle so that I got nearly 3 times the amount of hydration I would normally receive with just one singular bottle of water. What are you talking about? Okay.
Right? She came over to check on him after Mica called her. Now, that's the first time I've ever heard him say that she has attempted to harm him. So it's almost like his story of her attempts to harm herself wasn't shocking enough to the public. So now he has to go a bit further so she could be portrayed as some sort of psycho. None of what I've seen shows that as Mica's character at all. I mean, not even just going by what her family is saying her character is. It's just all the unseen footage doesn't show that she's some psycho. It just shows that she's someone in a very toxic marriage and trying hard to escape without judgment or dishonoring God. JP says in the interview that Mica struggled a lot, but he did not contribute to those struggles. Most of his defense was Mica's issues came from refusing to take her medication. So this entire interview was nothing new that JP hasn't already said before, of course, other than her attempting to harm him. In my opinion, he would be better off saving people trouble and doing his own like home video with explanations like he has been doing, because I don't think he's ever going to take any accountability for anything. But if you have thoughts on this, please share it below. If you have already seen the entire interview, great. Share below your thoughts. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And let's not miss the main reason what this is for. It's for
justice for Mica. Purple hearts in the chat, y'all.
For justice for Mica. It's not for anything else. So,
amen to that. All right, what's next? Oh, Lord. Y'all, we're going to cap this thing off with a little Agatha May. Oh, yes. Let's keep going, though. Who's next?
In new audio from the
Robbie Harvey, let's go.
exclusive Flow podcast, John Paul Miller now blames the events of March 11th on Mica's mental health and her refusal to take her medicine. Before I share with you that audio, remember, the early morning hours of March 11th has become a critical point of this story. So critical, according to sources, multiple sources, the FBI is extremely interested as to what happened that day. Remember, Mica Miller was with a friend those early morning hours. Matter of fact, an individual who worked at Solid Rock Church, and a private investigator hired by John Paul Miller caught them together, took some photos, and then called John Paul Miller, which sent him into an alleged rage.
Whoa.
Later that day, Mica Miller reported to police that her tires had been slashed. And while getting those tires fixed, John Paul Miller showed up at the Honda dealership, threatening to reveal the pictures that his private investigator captured.
Walk away.
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
They'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours. Walk away.
Now, John Paul Miller blames Mica not being on her medicine for what happened on March 11th. Take a listen.
She did something she shouldn't have done on March 11th, something she would never in a zillion years do, ever, when she's on medication. She did something that she only does when she's off medication. And that's how I knew that she was mentally ill and needs help, was on that day, which was March 11th. And there were some pictures taken of her and somebody else doing something inappropriate.
Who was that person? What were they doing?
And so when I was taking her mail and she said something, I forget what she said, it doesn't matter, but I said, well, if you do that, I'm going to put pictures of you and that boy up.
And in sermons immediately following March 11th, John Paul Miller speaks of that alleged individual, that alleged employee who was with Mica that day.
A few weeks ago, I had somebody on my staff, a young person that I had to let go. I said, listen, I don't want you doing this anymore. This is something that I don't think is right. I want you to stop. And they looked at me and they said this, well, God's my ultimate authority. I said, what did you just say to me? They said, well, if God tells me I can do it, then I can do it. I said, you work for me. They said, God's my, I said, you know what? Get God to sign your paycheck for you because you're fired.
That's right. The person of interest in this story was allegedly immediately fired by John Paul Miller. But back to the audio, claiming that Mica did something that she would have never done if she had just been on her medication. Remember, Mica had left John Paul Miller in February, just a month prior. And according to multiple friends and family, the version of Mica that they saw in the last few months of her life was the happiest version that they have seen in quite some time. She found happiness. It was experiencing freedom from John Paul Miller as she prepared with her divorce and getting ready to move on with her life. And here's an example. In early 2023, Mica and John Paul Miller separated, and Mica moved to Kansas to be with her sister. While there, she began building relationships, attending a local church, getting involved with her music ministry, and living without John Paul Miller. Then, somehow, John Paul convinced her to come back to Myrtle Beach and reconnect their relationship. But just a few months after reconnecting, this picture was taken of Mica Miller. It was July 2023 when this photo was taken. And according to the person who took the photo, she was in a deep depression. And she repeated over and over again her regret to coming back to John Paul Miller. March 11th was a version of Mica without John Paul Miller. July 2023 is the version with John Paul Miller. John Paul repeatedly blames others for Mica's demise, and he's not afraid to talk negatively about his now deceased wife.
You know, you spend 7 years trying to keep somebody alive with medicine, and their family convinces them to stop taking the medicine, and so then you spend 3 months every single day for 3 months doing whatever you can to keep her alive, whether it's going to family, friends, her pastor, her counselor, policemen, judges, doctors. I did everything I could, lawyers, whatever I could to get her medicine and help her take it. and she would not take her medicine because her family didn't want her to. Mica's death took off like it did nationally on social media because America, at least most of America, the ones that have the loudest voices are usually people like that like Jerry Springer show. And Mica's family is the epitome of the Jerry Springer show. The people who were saying justice for Mica are raising money for the people who caused Mica's death. They're using the money to sue the man who kept her alive for 7 years and did everything he could to help her, and his church. I don't even get that. I don't understand it.
Why are you looking down and looking away and touching your face? And if that's true, you looking right at the camera and you say it.
I need somebody to explain that to me. All I can think of is there's evil in the world. That's all. That's the only answer I have is that Satan is at work in the world. Now, when she's off her meds, she's knocked the crap out of me a few times. Chipped my tooth, busted my nose, hit me so hard in my ear it rang for 6 hours and I lost hearing. But that's when she's off meds. That's when, and you just take care. It's like an autistic child. When someone you love can't control themselves, you don't really know what to do. Do you hug them really hard and prevent them from moving their hands? Do you run in the other room? For me, I would just kind of run away. You know, I'd leave.
Prevent them from moving their hands?
You what?
That's a weird thing to say with all those alleged rumors and all that stuff and those theories about things. That's a weird thing to say. Anybody else catch that? That's weird. When you hug somebody, they're supposed to hug you back. You don't prevent. How would you prevent somebody from moving their hands if you're hugging them? Again, hey, he's not charged with anything, y'all. Innocent. Innocent. But that is just, for now, at least all we know. But that is weird. Weird choice of words. Let's keep going.
The house, or I'd go lock myself in a room and try to talk her into understanding what's going on and who I am.
But when it comes to Susie Skinner, his alleged romantic interest over the last several years, John Paul Miller wants everyone to stop the attacks.
That Mica trusted Susie. Susie's a great friend to both of us, and she lived a great life, taking care of her husband and kids. And anybody that says anything otherwise about her is horrible. Like, talk about me, whatever. Don't talk about somebody who is married to a quadriplegic the entire time. Took care of him, moved him around all throughout the day and night, came home from work to take care of him, gave birth to twins, raised twins, worked full-time, only breadwinner. She's a good one.
I suspect John Paul is going to accuse Mica of cheating on him the morning of March 11th. But remember this. Just weeks before the morning of March 11th, John Paul Miller left his phone number for a random waitress he met at a restaurant.
So there's something that's been on my mind and on my heart for a few days, but really it goes back a few months to February when this guy came into the restaurant where I've been working and left his phone number on his receipt. To make a long story short, I looked him up and he was the senior pastor of a local church, and I thought, let's see what he's about.
An alleged adult conversation took place where John Paul Miller is seen allegedly asking for bikini pictures from this woman. The waitress, the alleged affair with
He needs some milk.
Susie Skinner. I think it's fair to ask the same exact questions that John Paul Miller asked. Was he off his medication while going after these other women that aren't his wife?
For the past 4 weeks, I've had the most horrible battle and horrible time of my entire life. I've never, ever, not even close, been through what I'm going through right now in life. Not even close. Horrible. I mean, horrible, so bad.
Dear God. Hey, Crimes and Theories in the house. Let's go. Y'all, make sure you go subscribe. Make sure you go show her some love. Amazing work. Amazing work. We watched a couple of the videos at the beginning of the live stream. So shout out Crimes and Theories. Great to see you. Welcome in.
I'm seeing a psychiatrist every week. I'm on 900 milligrams of lithium. I'm seeing a counselor every week. I'm going to inner healing. I'm going to deliverance 3 times a week with pastors in the area. I'm doing everything I can just to be able to get out of bed. I'm so depressed. I want to die. I'm battling suicidal thoughts. I have unforgiveness, hatred.
Imagine sitting in the front row at his church and hearing that. And you're just like,
How dare you?
what?
Demons coming out of me.
As the days keep rolling on, believing in heaven. You're the bride of Christ, and he sees his bride going through abuse and hurt. What do you think he thinks about that?
March.
Grandma Theories, you're welcome on any of the live streams too. If you want to come in and be in one of the on the live stream, let me know. Let me know. We can make that a reality.
11th. What?
It'd be a dream come true for a lot of us. Come on in.
Really happened that day? The FBI certainly wants to know, and their investigation into John Paul Miller continues.
Dun, 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 dun. Man, I'm telling you, this is a Rubik's Cube of a case where each square on the Rubik's Cube is a Rubik's Cube. All right, y'all. Ready? Little Agatha May action. Let's go. Who's ready?
Welcome to, or welcome back to, the Agatha May Detective Agency. I'm Agatha May, and in this episode, we're going to be looking at Faith First Academy, the stellar school affiliated with Solid Rock Church. But before we start with that, I want to say thank you to RC and Ollie for being my first Super Thanks donors. Thank you so much. Also, a huge thanks to Patrick over at the Mystery Project for sharing my videos.
Hey, Agatha May! Thank you for being amazing and making awesome content. And y'all, everybody that we watch, everybody's always pinned in the description. Go show their channel. Tons of love. And Agatha, you're welcome on the live stream anytime as well. Come on.
Faith First is a newcomer to the private school scene. It was only founded in 2022 and includes grades K through 9. Much like Reggie Miller's schools, Faith First isn't accredited because who needs standards? In fact, their standards are so
Who needs standards?
low, they've let Reggie be a substitute teacher. And just to throw in my favorite joke, their standards are so low, they should call it the Miller School.
Ooh.
None of the teachers at Faith First are certified with the state of South Carolina, and even though they have bachelor degrees, none of them have a degree in education. They can't really be too picky about their teachers, though, because only the full-time teachers get paid, and I'm going to guess it's not very much. The part-time teachers don't get paid because they're considered volunteers.
They doing the Lord's work.
I've been told by a very reliable source that when the school first started, John Paul was trying to get all the teachers to volunteer. Well, that does sound like a profitable business model. And never mind that John Paul doesn't volunteer. He's special. At the moment, the school is down to a principal, 3 teachers, and a substitute, which sounds like the title of a low-budget 1990s sitcom that never made it past the pilot.
What the? Oh, Agatha.
To give you an idea of what kind of working environment you can expect at Faith First, the national average teacher turnover rate is 23%. Even Philadelphia and Boston, which have 2 of the most dangerous schools in the country, only have a 23 and 20% turnover rate, respectively.
Oh, God, what's theirs? Let me guess. I'm going to take a guess. I don't watch these videos beforehand, y'all. I'm going to guess 65%.
But Faith First Academy excels at losing teachers, and their turnover rate is 100%.
Oh, my God.
Way to get a perfect score, Faith First, and in just 2 short years. What overachievers. The school loves to advertise that they're the cheapest private school in Myrtle Beach. I've checked, and they actually are. but they don't seem to have an inkling that when you're pricing a product, being the cheapest isn't necessarily a selling point, because people will wonder why you're the cheapest. I'd say that you get what you pay for, but even though Faith First is cut rate, I think you're still overpaying. Tuition at Faith First will only set you back $3,300 a year per child, unless you're a member of Solid Rock Church. Then you only pay $3,000 a year. Keep in mind that if you do attend Solid Rock, you'll be expected to tithe, and that will cost you more in the long run. You'll also have to listen.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. This is insane. Billy Ann, much appreciated hitting your vids, resharing. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the rose too. You guys are sweet. Thanks for the little gnome dudes and doing the TikTok game. I appreciate it.
To John Paul preach, and there is no way that a $300 a year discount is worth that. They also offer a multi-child discount for families. Parents have to fork out $600 a year for each child's curriculum as well, and if your child leaves the school before the end of the year, the school gets to keep the books and workbooks that you've paid for. What a deal. There's also a
what a deal.
$50 application fee, and none of the fees or tuition are refundable. Once you pay, John Paul clutches his tiny little elf hands around that money and does not let go.
Tiny little elf hands.
If you'd like your child to attend Faith First, I'll question your sanity, and you'll not only have to pay the non-refundable $50 application fee, but you also have to meet with the principal so she can see if she can tolerate being around your child all day. Then the school has a board meeting to see if your little precious is good enough for their school. At least that's what's on their website. I'm not sure I believe that. I think they'll accept just about anyone as long as their parents will pay.
Yep.
I also haven't found any mention of who is on the school board. I just imagine it's John Paul at the end of a long conference table voting by himself. You might wonder what some of the parents are saying about Faith First.
Oh, God, I can't wait.
And the school just happens to have these reviews on their website. However, out of the 9 reviews, 1 is from one of the teachers, and 4 reviews are from 2 couples where the husband and wife have both given reviews, but the school spaced out their reviews to make it look like they aren't a couple. I've shortened the reviews so they'll fit to demonstrate what I'm talking about. John Paul really has learned how to be shady from his father.
Damn!
If the reviews from the parents don't convince you, maybe the school's core values will.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
John Paul really likes to use the phrase core values, which is interesting since it's usually used as corporate speak. It's almost like John Paul views the church as his business. Weird. While looking through the school's core values, this phrase stuck out to me. We have very little tolerance for strife, discord, and/or drama.
How dare you!
Oh my God.
Aren't those John Paul's top 3 goals for the day?
Whoa.
Their core values also read, "We will love and accept any person who is willing to be a maintainer of peace, but we cannot allow someone to harm our family by continuously sowing discord. Do not associate with any Christian who is a slanderer. Do not even sit down to eat with such a person. Drive out that wicked one from among you. Expel him from your church."
Man, you can't make this up. This is crazy as hell. This is crazy as hell. TikTok, do me a favor, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. Thank you for being here. My name's Patrick. I do these live streams every single night. Come on over to YouTube if you want to watch the video, like see the videos with us. You can find all of the links to all the videos and creators and everything all on the Mystery Project on YouTube. There's over 200 people watching, and we got almost 200 likes. If you guys all hit the thumbs up button, that would be awesome, because it just spreads the word about the live stream and brings more attention to all the creators and everything in this case and just the whole thing. So just do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate the hell out of you guys, and let's keep on going.
Well, maybe this is why John Paul had trouble finding someone to go to dinner with him and had to resort to taking Susie Plain Baked Potato Skinner. Also, the Wicked One's call is...
I get it now. Plain baked potato skin. Like baked potato skinner. That's what she did there. Ah, you can't get anything by me, Agatha. Took me a week and a half, but I figured that one out.
It's coming from inside the building. The core values continue with, we treat one another with great respect. We do not permit anyone to give any personal advice or suggestions unless they have first asked our permission and won our heart.
What?
Once someone feels free to tell you what you should be doing without first asking your permission and winning your heart, they have reduced you to a child, and that relationship has become manipulative. Isn't it fun when the guy who tries to manipulate everyone explains manipulation? At least he's talking about something he knows, I guess. And of course, one of the core values has to do with giving, because that's what's most important.
Ooh.
To sum up the school's core values, don't make waves, give us money.
Damn.
The curriculum the school uses is the homeschool program from Bob Jones University, and that in itself is problematic. No one should be giving Bob Jones University money because it is a cesspool. It was founded in 1927 by Bob Jones Sr., who told everyone that he didn't want the college to be named after him, but he said his friends talked him into it because if his name wasn't attached to it, people would be confused. Sure, Bob. In the 1950s, Bob Jones and Billy Graham were at odds, and when Billy Graham held a campaign in Greenville, South Carolina, the college threatened to expel any student who attended. I'm usually against violence, but I'll bet Billy could have wiped the floor with Bob in a parking lot scrap. In 1960, Big Bob gave a sermon in which he stated, quote, "If you are against segregation and against racial separation, then you are against God Almighty," end quote. BJU didn't allow black students to attend until 1971 and stated it was due to their interpretation of interracial dating not being biblical. Even when the black students were allowed to attend, they had to be married to another black person before they could enroll. In 1976, the IRS revoked the college's tax-exempt status retroactively to 1970 due to their discriminatory practices. BJU took it to the
That's crazy as hell.
Supreme Court and lost, then decided to pay $1 million in back taxes rather than change their policy. They did not drop their interracial dating policy until the year 2000. How progressive of them! As a child, I attended a rather strict, independent, fundamental private school, but even we made fun of how strict Bob Jones University was. Back in the day, they had separate sidewalks for the guys and gals because walking on the same sidewalk as the opposite sex was just too tempting and would have probably led to giant orgies of all manner of
Dear God! Agatha May!
dancing and holding hands. In 2014, an independent watch group found that BJU counselors had failed to report sexual assault and abuse to the proper authorities. The group also found that the college was telling their female students that the way they dressed incited their assault. BJU promptly fired the watchdog group because they didn't hire them to tell the truth. In 2023, BJU's president alleged that the board chairman of the college mishandled a Title IX investigation. Title IX has to do with the school's response to sexual assault, harassment, and their sex discrimination policy. The chairman was also accused of firing board members who didn't agree with him. Instead of investigating the allegations, the board decided to just find a new president. I guess one who wasn't so disruptive and didn't give a hoot about protecting the students. So Faith First is happily funding Bob Jones University. The dress code at the school is pretty typical for the boys. Black or khaki slacks or long shorts, and a uniform shirt that has to be purchased from Land's End. But the girls, of course, have a more stringent dress code. They can also wear slacks or long shorts and skirts that don't hit more than 2 fingers above the knee, and they wear the same kinds of uniform shirts. But they are further instructed that they can't wear camouflage, nylon or spandex pants, yoga pants, or overalls. Fabrics to be avoided include stretch knit, jersey, flannel, parachute fabric, and leather. Well, I guess you can send your son to school in some sweet 1980s black leather David Lee Roth pants if you want, though. Just think of the rousing rendition of Hot for Teacher he can belt out in the hallway. Faith First forbids any of the students to have their hair dyed or styled in an extreme manner, such as a mohawk, spiked, or shaved clean, because having children that are allowed to express themselves through their hairstyle will never do. Faith First wants all the students to look the same, act the same, be the same. Don't step out of line. Don't make a mess. Don't be yourself. The handful of teachers that are left at the school have a bit of history with the law, which seems to be par for the course with anything involving the Millers.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Between the 5 remaining faculty, one actually has no charges. What a loser. Another
Agatha May, I can't handle it.
only has a single ticket, but has 3 bankruptcies. I normally don't fault someone for having a bankruptcy, but when you're using them as a budgeting plan, that's a problem. Another teacher only has 1 traffic violation, but has an arrest for shoplifting $781 of merchandise. The final contestant and the winner of Faith First Academy's Who Has the Longest Rap Sheet has 20 traffic violations and an arrest for shoplifting and trespassing at JCPenney that resulted in a $450 fine.
JCPenney? Oh, Lord.
Is being a shoplifter a qualification for getting a job there? Is that how they get chalk and markers for the classrooms? They're so frugal. The school might not give a flying fig if their teachers are doing anything illegal, but they have rules for the students that, if broken, could result in expulsion. They are any involvement or association with drugs, vaping, or alcohol on or off campus, bullying, threatening, harassment, and intimidation on or off campus, involvement
Whoa. Entertainment and educational purposes only. TikTok overlords.
in immoral or sexual behavior on or off campus, possession of a weapon or explosives on or off campus, profanity and or obscenity directed at a faculty or staff member, striking a faculty or staff member, testing positive or refusal to take a school-mandated drug test, threat of physical harm with or without a weapon on or off campus, possession of or sending pornography or nude images on or off campus, illegal behavior on or off campus. So not only would the majority of the teachers be expelled, but so would John Paul Miller. I do realize that there are different rules for adults versus students, but the adults, especially the one who owns the school, should be setting an example. And I don't mean an example of what not to do. Faith First doesn't make enough money with just tuition, so they force parents to assist with at least 1 fundraiser a year. It looks like in the past it's been a garage sale. I'm sure the parents love that. Their big fundraising event of the year, though, is the Ron Kaufman Golf Tournament. Ron is Mark Kaufman's father. This is the 2nd year of the tournament, and boy howdy are they proud of it. You have to pay to play. It's $125 for a single or $500 for a team. And you also get breakfast, lunch, water and Gatorade in that price. I know you're probably thinking that Faith First is being very generous, throwing breakfast and lunch at the golfers, but they ask for the food to be donated. But what if you want to be more than a food donor? What if you want to do something bigger and better than giving Pop-Tarts and soggy
Like sponsor a hole, probably $1,000 or $5,000.
sandwiches? Well, you can be a sponsor. For $200, you can be a whole sponsor, H-O-L-E, whole. I really think they could have come up with a better name for that. Your business will be advertised on the course, on t-shirts, the school website, and social media. For $2,000, you can either be a goodies bag sponsor, a longest drive sponsor, or a closest to the pin sponsor. For that, you get the same perks as the whole sponsor, and you also get a team entry. So instead of paying...
Y'all. No, I was going to say, I should sign up a team and just go win it. Let's go. Thumbs up in the chat. Should I sign up a team and go win?
$200 to be a whole sponsor and $500 for a team entry, you can pay $1,300 more for absolutely nothing. This is some of that fancy math. For $4,000, you can sponsor a child to go to Faith First Academy, and that includes a whole sponsor and a team entry and the warm fuzzy feeling of knowing you're helping a child go to a subpar, pun intended, school. And if you really want to show...
Well, subpar would actually be a good thing in golf, Agatha. You want to be below par. But subpar school, no, you don't want that.
Everyone how much money you don't care about giving to an absolutely unworthy cause, you can be a presenting sponsor for $10,000.
Sweet baby Jesus. I've never seen them that expensive. I've seen them get to $5,000, but it's for like a proper charity to sponsor a team, but not $10,000. That's crazy. Mike Castle said, I'll sponsor you. Let's do it, Mike. Come on, let's go. Y'all, thehauntedSide.com. Go check it out. You want to sponsor it? ThehauntedSide.com.
Well, that sounds downright luxurious. For $10,000, you also get to be a whole sponsor and get a team entry, but your business name gets to be on the front of the t-shirt. You know, the side no one can see when someone is golfing.
Ooh.
Also, from the photos I saw of last year's tournament, the only people wearing the t-shirts were the school staff. The thought of starting a fundraiser to buy all the sponsorships and having all of the sponsor names be Justice for Mica crossed my mind. It was
Agatha! Yo! Agatha. Come on. Agatha, I'm legitimately a professional golfer. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my God. That would be insane. Y'all.
would be a sea of purple on the golf course, minus the red of John Paul's face. From anger, not embarrassment, because I'm convinced he is not capable of such. If the money wasn't going to the school and ultimately John Paul's tiny fist, it might be worth it. With the church attendance declining and the faculty at the school being less than bare bones, it's possible Faith First won't be able to have school this fall. I think that would be the best thing the school has done.
Oh no, look at that.
I have verified that Now Kids, which was the after-school program at Faith First, has moved and is now under their own LLC and have filed to be an independent nonprofit with the IRS. They are no longer associated with Solid Rock Church.
Whoa.
Reginald Wayne and John Paul Miller should have chosen different career paths. I'd say the Mafia would have been a good fit because they adore having power, but I think their fellow Mafians or Mafiites or whatever they're called would get so sick of those two whining about everything and writing emails to news organizations when they don't get their way. they'd probably off them pretty quickly. Well, that makes one think, doesn't it? I think John Paul has desperately tried to succeed in the ways his father failed. But John Paul, you suck at it just as much as Daddy Miller did. And you know why? Because you're just like him. I don't know if the school is under investigation, but I would think that if the FBI is taking a look at the church's finances, they'll have a look at the school's as well. I would be highly surprised if they even keep separate books for the two. In fact, I'd be highly surprised if they keep books of any kind. Trisha is still handwriting checks that look like they're from somebody's grandma's purse from 1982.
Damn.
I don't think their archaic method of check writing is due to a lack of knowledge or the inability to use a bookkeeping program either. I think it's purposely archaic because they think it's harder to track. John Paul needs to remember that Al Capone went down for tax evasion, and that was well before the days of QuickBooks. As far as I know, none of the staff is under investigation or are people of interest in any crime. They are innocent until proven guilty, not including the things they've already been found guilty of. I am working on a video about the Duttons, a husband and wife pastor team who are buddies with Reggie Miller and also have horrible taste in graphic design. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe and be happy.
She said have horrible taste in graphic design. Oh my God, I love it. Agatha, you're amazing. Please come on a live stream with me. Agatha, please do it. And let's do the golf course thing. Oh my God. Y'all, that would be incredible. ThehauntedSide.com, y'all. All kinds of ways to support the show and apparently sponsor the entire damn golf course. Oh, that would be incredible. All right, y'all. That's it for tonight. I got to get some sleep. I love you guys. YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. In fact, we got 20 likes away right now from 200. So everybody, do me a favor, watch on YouTube. Just hit the thumbs up button real quick before we end. I appreciate it. TikTok, same thing. Thanks for all the love. Thanks for the support. Thanks for being here. Hit the follow button if you're new. I go live every night on TikTok, YouTube, and Rumble right at 9 p.m., sometimes a little bit later, maybe like 9:30, but usually right around 9 p.m. Pacific time. So whatever an hour and a half was an hour and a half ago, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that was an hour and a half ago for you, that's what time I go live typically. All right, y'all. Love you guys. Be safe. ThehauntedSide.com. Go check it out. And I'll